Well, we start this week's Fox 26 Crime Files with a disturbing crime reported at one of Houston's most popular parks. We're talking about an active sexual assault investigation at Herman Park. Here's Fox 26's Matthew Seedorf.
Police now investigating a sexual assault case at one of Houston's most popular parks.
We run here every day, so we didn't know about that. So, yeah, that's awful.
HPD confirming an active investigation is underway into claims of a sexual assault taking place at Herman Park. A woman calling police last Wednesday around 4:30 in the afternoon.
I am not super surprised. I know being a girl and being alone is a little harder.
Maybe they can have some more security, maybe, but I would say maybe run in pairs.
A source familiar with the case tells Fox 26 the victim, a woman, had been running. Police couldn't confirm exact details or if an arrest had been made, but charging documents Fox 26 uncovered state, quote, on or around April 7th, a man attempted ripping off a woman's shirt, tried removing her underwear, thrusting his pelvis against her body. In the fall, another woman also reported being sexually assaulted while jogging at Memorial Park. Police eventually arresting and charging Terry and Lee Scott Brewer.
I just have my pepper spray on me all the time, just in case.
Many runners taking extra precaution. Even in popular city parks, people consider safe.
I just try to stay aware of my surroundings.
And that was our Matthew Seedorf. Also this story, we're following a masked gunman on the run right now after robbing a dry cleaners. Police say the robber walked into the store here on South Post Oak last month, yelled, "This is a stick up," and demanded cash from the register. He then took off in a blue sedan, so call police if you know who that robber is. Also, a nightclub in North Houston is out of business right now after authorities claim it was a front for human trafficking. So the owners right now aren't saying anything, and Fox 26's Natalie He has more on this shutdown.
Just off the Hardy Toll Feeder Road sits a bright green building next to a gas station. The Las Vegas nightclub appeared to be a place where patrons could grab a drink. But on March 26, allegations came pouring in that the business was instead fronting as a suspected brothel.
TABC received information that there could be potential human trafficking taking place within the business. And so our follow-up investigation revealed signs of prostitution that took place inside there.
That's when the Texas Alcoholic Beverage Commission intervened and stripped the nightclub of its liquor license permanently.
So what the agency did was first issue a 90-day suspension of the business's liquor license to essentially shut that business down immediately and help promote public safety. Following that, we spoke with the business owner who agreed to fully cancel their liquor license.
The agency then partnered up with Texas DPS, the FBI, Harris County Precinct 1 Constable's Office, the State Department, and the Montgomery County Sheriff's Office to launch a criminal investigation. Authorities are now urging patrons to be on the lookout for telltale signs that someone may be a victim of trafficking.
One of the things we do ask people across Texas to look for any signs of suspicious activities, such as employees who seem like they aren't being allowed to leave, people who are afraid to talk to people who are not employed at the business, some of the more common signs of trafficking.
A man accused of stealing catalytic converters leads police on a chase from Houston to Brazoria County, and then a standoff starts. Here's Fox 26's Tiffany Justice.
Sky Fox over the home where the suspect disappeared, starting an hours-long standoff with SWAT, ending after the suspect was taken into custody by law enforcement. 34-year-old Reese Dean Crisp wanted on previous warrants.
We attempted to negotiate him out of the house. He didn't want to come out of the house. SRT team was deployed gas inside the residence. Suspect still didn't come out, so the SRT team entered the residence after several hours and found him hiding in the attic. He was found to have a backpack full of catalytic converters.
Houston police saying they received a call around 12:35 about a theft in progress on Northwood in the Heights. The suspect was reportedly at the time stealing catalytic converters. When officers arrived at the scene, the suspect sped off on a motorcycle. A high-speed chase began for a short time. A suspect leading police all the way from the Heights to Alvin to this home, where police say the suspect knew one of the residents.
When one of our patrol units responded, they saw the suspect. They tried to initiate a traffic stop, and that's when he began to evade. So he got on the freeway, obviously came down 288. He was going at high rates of speed, so we pulled back, and our air support was able to maintain a visual on him, which followed him to this residence, which is where we ended up taking him into custody.
All right, we want you to watch this video here of a woman being robbed at an ATM. Again, one of these crimes we're seeing in broad daylight. It happened back in February, but the crook is still out there. The woman was taking money out of the ATM here on Gessner, right near Westheimer. The guy pulled a knife and then demanded her wallet. She did hand it over, and then the guy just took off. And this could be a crime. It's also really dumb, really careless. Anything you want to say about it? A Klein ISD high school teacher accused of giving his students a lesson in porn. Well, sort of. Here's Fox 26's Gabby Hart.
It just popped up on my feed, and then I started getting messages about it as well.
Klein ISD parents are reacting after a teacher at Klein Collins High School was accused of accidentally streaming a pornographic video to a school projector during one of his classes.
It was very disturbing to know that this would even take place, and especially by a teacher. You know, it was very disturbing.
The teacher has been identified as Kevin Welchel. An online forum for education reveals Welchel has worked as a teacher for 12 years and has been a world history professor for Klein Collins High School for the past 4 years.
Being a teacher for 12 years, you definitely know. Just any adult can tell you that's inappropriate.
Klein ISD released a statement saying, in part, the individual was immediately removed and is no longer employed by the district. The district does not tolerate such completely unacceptable conduct.
I'm glad they took action on it. I mean, that's really good that they have a zero tolerance policy with that behavior.
Welchel is now facing criminal charges for displaying harmful material to minors.
It's just sad, again, that the students had to even go through this. I know it was traumatizing to them and a lot of parents to see that their children was exposed to something like this.
Parents, talk to your kids, see what's actually happening in school. A lot goes on, you know, every day, all day for these kids.
Two guys held up a Southeast Houston convenience store in early April. The two robbers went inside the store on Cullen. They grabbed several items, went to the clerk, and then pulled out a gun. So they demanded that the clerk open the glass screen that was separating him from the customers. He refused to do that. The suspects then grabbed their items and, yeah, they just ran off. Well, 2 days, 3 road rage shootings, and unfortunately, sadly, 2 people are dead. A horrifying past weekend on Houston area roads. Once again, here's Fox 26's Gabby Hart.
I just think there needs to be more screening, more background checks.
Houston drivers are reacting after 3 road rage shootings claimed the lives of 2 people over the weekend.
That's scary. You know, my kids are out there driving, right? So you just worry.
The first shooting happened around 7:30 Saturday night near the intersection of Fry Road and Keith Harrell Boulevard. Police arrived to find a car crashed into a pole. The driver suffered a gunshot wound and died at the scene. Witnesses told police someone in a black Ford Focus or Ford Fiesta started shooting into the victim's vehicle in what appeared to be a road rage incident.
We have siblings, we have children, we have parents. I mean, it could be anybody.
The second shooting happened just before midnight Sunday. A woman was killed after someone opened fire on her SUV while she was driving along Gulf Freeway in Lamarck, Texas.
I think people need more God in their lives.
And around 2:30 Sunday morning, a woman was shot in the leg while inside of her car on Katy Freeway near T.C. Jester Boulevard. She was transported to the hospital. These shootings add to the dozens of road rage incidents and deaths that we've seen play out on Texas roads over the past few months.
You really never know who you're messing with when you're driving on the roads, and always, you know, engage in a peaceful way, and you never know. I mean, especially in Texas with all these open carry laws.
While some residents believe stricter gun laws may be the answer to stopping these random shootings, not everyone agreed.
I don't think it plays a role. I think people that want to do the wrong thing are going to do the wrong thing, unfortunately.
But something everyone we spoke to did agree on is that no one should ever lose their life over something as small as road rage.
For the most part, people just need to chill out because it ain't that deep, you know.
Just got to share the road, you know, not really get too frustrated. It's not worth shooting nobody over.
And one of those people gunned down, Galveston nurse Patrina Compton, found in her car shot along I-45 right near Lamarck. Here's Fox 26's Matthew Seedorf. He spoke with her family.
An urgent investigation underway in Lamarck. Late Saturday night, police finding Patrina Compton in her car near Gulf Freeway and Highland Bayou Park, shot several times.
It's tragic for our whole family because, I mean, she didn't bother anybody, and for this to happen to her, it just hit everybody hard.
The 42-year-old, a mother and an NICU nurse in Galveston.
Just a whole, all over around good person. Nothing bad, never had any beef with anybody.
Stacy and her sister were together only hours before police found Patrina's car covered in bullet holes.
That's her route to go home. And so I guess when she got to the freeway is when this happened.
A deadly weekend on Houston area roads. At least 3 shootings just involving vehicles scattered across the city.
It's getting way too dangerous. And for innocent people to be involved, it just has to stop.
Police believe Patrina could have been targeted. Now they're investigating who and why someone would kill the NICU nurse.
If anybody knows anything, just please say something.
Well, the other shoe now dropped in the criminal investigation to an $11 million COVID-19 contract. A grand jury indicting 3 members of Harris County Judge Lena Hidalgo's inner circle. With the latest on a story he first broke, here's Fox 26's political reporter Greg Grugan.
Bring it on, because there is nothing here.
The controversial $11 million COVID communication deal Harris County Judge Lena Hidalgo once vigorously defended has just triggered a half-dozen felony criminal indictments against 3 members of her inner circle, including the judge's chief of staff, Alex Triantafyllis.
If you roll the dice and go to trial, you just could end up with a prison sentence.
Also facing felony charges of tampering with government documents and misuse of official information are Aaron Dunn and Wallace Nader. According to the Texas Rangers, the pair, along with Triantafyllis, orchestrated a bid rigging scheme to steer the multi-million-dollar contract to a little-known one-woman firm with few resources and extensive connections to Democratic political campaigns. Back in August, Fox 26 was the first to scrutinize the contract and report multiple irregularities before its abrupt cancellation by Hidalgo in the court under mounting public pressure.
They'll now start talking to these defendants about seeing if one of them will, to use our vernacular, flip against Lena Hidalgo or someone else, testify against her in exchange for a deal.
From the very beginning, Precinct 4 Commissioner Jack Cagle publicly opposed the Elevate Strategies contract and now says the criminal charges it spawned have delivered a very sad day for Harris County taxpayers.
And now we see that it is not just a contract that smelt bad, but one that has been indicted for being rotten to the core.
In recent weeks, Judge Hidalgo has defended her staff, saying their actions related to the COVID contract were driven by a desire to save lives during the pandemic. And while they have not returned our calls immediately, lawyers for all 3 defendants have publicly stated a full review of the facts will establish their client's innocence. In the newsroom, Greg Grugan, Fox 26 News.
And that is this week's Fox 26 Crime Files.